Hey, good morning, guys. I made a trip back to the very far corner of our property, up on the very top. And this is a gate that goes on out into another guy's property that goes out to the gravel road up there. But it used to be an access here to us. There's a right of way through there that we have access to, another way out of our property, but it's not been used in several years. But it's pretty up here. I've not been out here in a long time, back here in this corner, but that massive tree out here. Some big trees back here, but there's also a bunch of these little ones. These little ones are saplings. They've grown up. At one time, this property had been logged several years ago, and there's so much neat stuff up here. You get out and get to walking around it. Oh, look at this rock I just found. Look at this. Laying up here. Isn't that cool? Wow. It's just neat seeing all these things just laying up here on the ground. It's just pretty awesome to find things. What's out here? You know, we don't know. Come up and get to looking around. There's so many, man, there's a lot of neat rocks up here. A lot of neat stuff. No telling what we managed to find getting out here and walking around. No telling. A little bird over here watching me. I hear them. Oh, there it goes. That is an oriole bird. If I can find it here in the camera. They're elusive. They're hard to find. Right beside that tree. It's an oriole. They're bashful. They're hard to. They don't like to. That's one I thought was laughing at me, and I looked it up and finally found out what it was, and it's orioles. They're a beautiful bird. They got a bright orange bottom. Under the belly is bright orange, and the top is black. And they got markings on them. They're just a brilliant bird to see. Really beautiful. Real beautiful birds. But looks like turkey's been back here scratching through this, getting the acorns out. Acorns. I say them. Acorns instead of acorns. But it's pretty out here. I'll tell you what I'll find out here if I get to walking around. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let me set this down. Get this here set somewhere where we can see what's going on. Where I keep my eye on everybody. Make sure nobody sneaks up on me. And we'll get into the scripture reading. Hang on just a minute. Let's see what I can open up here and see what I can find. See what we got. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 4 we've got here. So we'll go through this and see how it comes out. Alright, now take these references and read them in context with what's there, and we'll get a fuller and deeper understanding of scripture by doing that. So we'll go through this, and there's just a handful here. So on 2 Timothy 2 and verse 4, and this is how it looks through Paul's writings. All right, Let's see. No one who is warring is involved in the business of livelihood, that he should be pleasing the one who enlists him. Are you not aware that those racing in a stadium are indeed all racing, yet one is obtaining the prize? Thus be racing, that you may be grasping it. Now every contender is controlling himself in all things. They indeed, that they may be obtaining a corruptible wreath, yet we an incorruptible. Now then, thus am I racing, not as dubious. Thus am I boxing, not as punching the air, but I am belaboring my body and leading it into slavery, lest somehow, when heralding to others, I myself may become disqualified. Now, devoutness with contentment is great capital. For nothing do we carry into the world, and it is evident that neither can we carry anything out. Now, having sustenance and shelter, with these we shall be sufficed. Now, those intending to be rich are falling into a trap and a trial, and the many foolish and harmful desires which are swamping men in extermination and destruction. For a root of all the evils is a fondness for money, which some, craving, were led astray from the faith, and try themselves on all sides with much pain. Now you, O man of God, flee from these things, yet pursue righteousness and devoutness, faith, love with endurance, suffering and meekness. Contend the ideal contest of the faith. Get hold of Aeonian life, for which you were called, and you avow the ideal avow in the sight of many witnesses. Endeavor to come to me quickly, for Demas, loving the current aeon, forsook me and went to Thessalonica, Crescens to Galatia, and Titus to Dalmatia. For in the Lord, he who is being called a slave is the Lord's free man. Likewise, he who is being called being free is a slave of Christ. With a price you were bought. Do not become slaves of men. Wherefore we are ambitious also, whether at home or away from home, to be well pleasing to him, according as we have been tested by God to be entrusted with the evangel. Thus we are speaking, not as pleasing men, but God, who is testing our hearts. And that's the references to 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 4. All right? So we won't add anything to Scripture. I'll put that rascal up like that, and put that out of the way. Oh, look here what I just seen sitting down here. This around here and here. Isn't that awesome? I like the way that is around the front, and there's a divot there too. Wow. So many neat characters in a rock. Look right in here. This area right here. Man. It's just neat. I see things out here and got to pick them up and look at them. Yep, I do. Anyway, it's time to get the day started, isn't it? I think it is. I think it's time. So let's do that. And And I'm going to go out and do some exploring, see what God's got for us today. Y'all ready? I think I am. Let's go do it. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See you then. Have an awesome day.